When it comes to auto insurance, most people understand the concept of how your vehicle is valued. It's the traditional approach is with actual cash value, where depreciation is taken into consideration at the time of a claim. But there's a different approach that works for maybe some classic vehicles, collectible items, maybe some heavily modified vehicles, that's called stated value insurance. Now there's a difference with stated value and the traditional approach. There's also a difference between stated value and agreed value. So let's walk through the differences between each. Stated value insurance is popular when it comes to, again, collector items, classic vehicles. It can provide a little bit better coverage, provide, a value, what's the maximum amount that's going to be paid out at the time of a claim. Heavily modified vehicles or customization when there's additional funds that have been put into a vehicle, but maybe it's not the all-out agreed value. Stated value is kind of a good middle ground. To qualify for a stated value insurance policy, there are a couple factors that they look at. First, what's the age of the vehicle? Generally, every company is a little bit different, but it's normally 20 to 25 years or older. So what they're looking at, also, what's the usage of it? Is it a pleasure use? Is it a daily driver? Those types of things matter. The condition, has the vehicle been restored? Is it updated? What's the condition of it? And then also those historical plates. If there are historical plates on it, are there not? Those are different factors that can be involved to see if stated value car insurance makes sense for you. So when it comes to stated value insurance versus the traditional car insurance method, the stated value, again, normally there's a higher limit that you can put that dollar amount on there. If there's customization pieces, you can add that. They're still going to be handled the actual cash value for all claims. It's just the stated value has a dollar amount that's associated with that vehicle. Therefore, it's going to be best used for, classic vehicles, modified vehicles. Your traditional vehicle, your daily driver, those are generally going to stay in that best bucket for that traditional approach. Cost-wise, they're going to be comparable, maybe not a huge difference, but there might be a little bit higher of a cost for your stated value vehicle, but also, again, typically the usage is much less on those, which can also help offset any premium differences. But in both of these cases, both vehicles are going to be depreciated at the time of a claim. So you could say that stated value is kind of a step up from your traditional approach. Stated value then has an agreed value, which is just a step up from there. An agreed value is where you and the insurance company agree to the value of the vehicle, and at the time of a total loss, they are going to write a check for that agreed value of the vehicle. So rather than the stated value says, hey, maximum, we're going to pay out X amount of dollars, but we are still going to depreciate it, take into all these other factors into consideration. Agreed value is you're paying for it, paying for the insurance to pay out 30 grand for your classic vehicle. That's how much they're going to pay minus your deductible. Your agreed value, or sometimes called a guaranteed value car insurance, that's going to be best again for your higher valued vehicles, those that are restored in great condition, historical plated, limited use, and those that you really want that special coverage for. Stated value is that middle ground, and similar, like I said before, when it comes to the usage of the vehicles, it's not always guaranteed that the insurance is going to cost more, because generally these types of vehicles are going to have much more limited use, just a Sunday stroll, in parades. They're not going to be rated the same way as your daily drivers would be. So the benefits of having a stated value car insurance are that it's a little bit higher coverage than your traditional approach. There's that dollar amount, that stated value, here's the maximum. Based on the modifications, the changes, here's what we believe the value is. There's also the flexibility for the owner. Then you can decide what is that stated value of your vehicle, and all else equal, it's typically going to be a lower pricing than your agreed value because it is not that fully guaranteed at the time of a claim. On the flip side, the downsides are that it's not an agreed value. So that dollar amount that you are associating with the vehicle, you are not guaranteed to get that check at the time of a claim. Depreciation is still taken into consideration at that time as well. So they are still going to look at the miles condition, kind of rate that, and either give out that maximum amount as the stated value or a lower depreciated value. It's really not ideal for your really high valued vehicles or if you want that special kind of coverage, but it is a good middle ground between the agreed value versus the traditional approach. If you are wondering, where do I fit in this? Where does my vehicle, what bucket it is in? I would recommend to reach out to an insurance agent, one that can talk through the options, talk through the pricing, again, how has it been restored? How much money have you put into it? Have you had those customization pieces? Those can kind of work out, then figure out, okay, pricing wise, the insurance, again, how's the vehicle used is a critical aspect, and you can see whether, what bucket it makes sense for you. If you need an agent to do that, you can contact Hitchings Insurance. We have several markets that are really competitive in this space, and we'd love to have an opportunity to review you and your insurance needs and see what fits best. Thanks for watching the video. Like, follow, subscribe to our platforms if you found this video helpful.